Now Golden State's starting five. Up front, it'll be Green in post. Curry is out there with the Anthony Melton. And it's Moody in at the three spot. And for the Timberwolves, guard and off guard, filled by DiVincenzo and Edwards. Julius Randle is out there with Big Smooth. And it's James in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. You know, RJ, you can feel the excitement in the air. It's the season opener for both these teams.
The wait is finally over for these fans. Both teams hoping to kick things off with a win, so I expect a lot of effort tonight.
Curry, that's good. Curry's got the game going here with the first basket for the Warriors.
Good job getting the ball and completing that play.
And this is why turnovers give coaches and fans gray hairs.
Here's Big Smooth. Randle outside. Jacks up a three. And it's Curry with the rebound. And here's Curry who brings it up for the Warriors. Randle with some nice D.
And he's usually able to score on that type of defense rather easily. Surprising to see him come away empty.
You know, they like Randle to be an offensive presence in the paint. They want him to be an option on every possession.
Now, here's Melton. Here's Curry. Makes it off the glass. Curry's got his second basket of the night.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
So Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves franchise player. GA, how good do you think he can be?
Well, some were ready to anoint him the new face of the league. But if they're to win the franchise's...
Oh, look out! Look out!
That's how you finish.
Man, what a creative finisher. Edwards is so fast in how he gets up to throw it down.
Just a terrific perspective of that dunk from the Connected Cam, brought to you by AT&T. Warriors are gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Melton gets to Curry. Green with a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Curry with the three. Knocks down the three ball. Curry's got 7 points. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
I caught up with Coach Chris Finch. We discussed their matchup against Stephen Curry, and Coach told me we have to be active. We have to be intense. We need to deny him the ball and smother him when he does have it. We have to take away his breathing room. Well, we know what happens when you give Curry room to operate, guys. Guys, back to you.
Great work as always, Allie. Thank you.
And it's Green responding in kind with that triple. No one more competitive than Draymond.
Back to Randle. The Timberwolves working the ball around them. And the basket by Edwards.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
Back to Curry. Fires the three. And another three for Golden State.
And he has flat out taken over this quarter. Keep feeding the beast.
DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. Now here's Randle beyond the arc. And it's Melton with the rebound. to Curry. And here is Moody. Back to Curry. For three. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. Coach needs a moment to talk things over. Both teams making some changes here. Now at the break of the floor, you can see the teams that led the NBA in steals last year. The Warriors, 4th.
You could tell by watching them how much they enjoyed playing defense. They seem to have an endless reserve of energy flying around and pressuring the basketball.
Pass to Big Smooth. James, a screen on Hield. And the dunk by James.
Just a textbook lead pass right there, putting it right where it needed to be.
Here's Post. It's picked off. Out on his own on the break. Here's James. Pass to Big Smooth. Lets it go with a 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter steal, but not who you want to leave open.
Down low, here's Post. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Look at Hield's unselfish approach. He's working to find everyone a look, not just himself.
And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Curry looking it over. Over in the corner, Green. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. First quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Warriors lead by 3. From Target Center, back in a moment. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Warriors?
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And I've really liked how they moved the ball tonight. Because of this selfless approach, they are piling up the assists.
So with Curry sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. We've got Kuminga. Hield is out there with Pajemski. Then there's Horford and Richard. And that's out of bounds. It was last touched by McDaniel.
There's one for the low light. Wow. I'm not sure who messed up the pass, but look, somebody did.
Chance checked in for the Timberwolves. Warriors leading by 3. So when it comes to the league's premier three-point specialist, Buddy Hield, RJ, is one name that quickly comes to mind.
When Hield is on the floor, his coaches and teammates want him to shoot the ball. Because when Buddy is dialed in, oh boy, he's dangerous.
McDaniels outside. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Hey, guys. The Timberwolves have elite shot creation, but it's finding that balance. Anthony Edwards said, I'm wired to score the ball. I'm going to showcase my game, so it's hard to find that balance of when to pass and when to keep it and try to get going. Sometimes I feel like the right play is me. Kevin, back to you.
Fills it up with the best. All right, Allie, as always, we thank you. 6 on the shot clock with the drive. Nothing that time. He's 0 for 2. The Warriors have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Hield outside. Pass to Horford. There's the triple. Hield can't hit.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Big smooth. From outside, off the mark. Looking at Minnesota, they took the win in their last game against the Boston Celtics. Hield finds Podziemski. Outside, Horford. Back to Hield. Horford sets a screen for Hield. From deep three-point land. Again, Hield missing. Timberwolves trail by 9. Pass to Champ. And stolen by Horford. Now Podziemski. Playing Dallas, he was nearly unstoppable. Hield outside. Again, Hield missing.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Shots good by Champ. And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the score?
Well, guys, this summer saw the first ever 17 trade in the NBA. You might wonder why it makes sense to involve so many parties, but basically teams have more flexibility, salary-wise, in multi-team deals. It is enough to make your head spin, guys. This is where things are headed.
Big moves indeed. All right, Shams, we appreciate the update. And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. This is the list of last season's top shooters from the charity stripe. These guys were practically automatic. Number 1, Stephen Curry.
And no doubt he finished the season right where he should have on that list. He was far and away the best free throw shooter in the league.
1:53 left to play in the first half. Pass to Moody. Now post. James defending. Right side Curry. Shot clock at 5. Moody finds Green. Pulls up on the wing. And again, no good by Golden State.
And usually that's a bucket for him, but look, nobody's perfect in the mid-range.
Well, Richard, you had an interesting view of the start of the Warriors dynasty.
Yeah, I was very, very blessed to be a part of that Steph, Clay, and Draymond's first playoff run back in 2013. Matter of fact, some of the Warrior fans are still mad at me for some missed free throws. But I was 90 years old. Let it go.
Drills it from outside.
And I've been impressed with the unselfishness, but also getting guys the ball where they can do something with it.
His court vision has been on display in this one. He's doing a tremendous job just orchestrating the offense beautifully.
Pass to Curry for the 3. And the Warriors, another 3.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Here's Champ. To the middle. Here's Big Smooth. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
Pass to Big Smooth. The three. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. That game marks the first half of a quick two-game homestand. And so it's the Golden State Warriors with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Shooting the ball so well in this one, a great performance from the field. Now let's check in with Allie LaForce on the sideline. What do you have for us, Allie?
I'm here with Coach Kerr. And Steve, what's your assessment of that first half of play and any changes in mind?
Well, we'll see. We have to adjust during the game if we see something that's hurting us. But I thought the defense was pretty solid overall, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Okay, more of the same. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Allie, thank you so much for that interview. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with you for the second half of the game right after this.
Welcome. All right, guys, let's break it down. It has not been the ideal start for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Their perimeter D's been weaker than airport toilet paper. Trust me, I know. They should strengthen it.
Wait a minute. I can't get the image of airport toilet paper now out of my head. Chasing guys off the arc would be the first thing I'd recommend. Airport toilet paper?
And next up, a look at the top performers for each team in that first half.
When you have two players going at each other like this, it becomes a point of pride. That's when the sparks fly. That's when it gets interesting.
For us and for the fans watching. Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
And let's see if the D adjusts, make life a little more difficult on him.
Warriors leading by 6. Guard and off guard. Filled by DiVincenzo and Edwards. Big Smooth out there with Randall. And it's James in at the 5. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half.
Mr. Reliable, you can count on Green to show up every night.
Here's Big Smooth. Still scoreless. Draymond Green with the rebound. Milton with the ball. Outside Curry. The tray. And the Warriors, another 3.
Steph does as good a job as any player as using himself for a decoy and finding the teammate.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thanks a lot. Well, Draymond Green is getting serious in the weight room. He said, one thing I learned is you have to lift weights. I was always naturally strong, so I was like, what do I need to lift for? These guys can't move me right now. But your body needs to be able to withstand the pounding of a long season. Back over to you, Kevin.
Okay, Allie, we thank you. Driving the lane. Milton, no good.
The defense really made this an uphill battle, and he just couldn't get there.
Edwards can't hit. Warriors leading by 9. Greg Anthony Edwards is full of confidence, and it's beautiful to watch.
And rightfully so. And can do it all on the floor. As complete of a wing as you'll find in our league.
And the wide open shot from Green. Off target with his 3.
And imagine how good they'll look if he can start to chip in a bit more offensively.
And Big Smooth gets it to go.
He's someone opposing defenses have a hard time game planning for.
There's Here's the pick. Curry fires from way outside. And again, it's the Warriors missing. Randall passes to Big Smooth. Now James on the wing, DiVincenzo. Here's Randall. Launches a three. Offensive rebound. Here's James. And James throws it down.
How about the offensive rebound with a little extra punch on the putback?
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe.
This is what Curry does best. He is so creative at getting into rhythm and staying hot.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. As now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Big Smooth, he's checked in for DiVincenzo. Podziemski, he's checked in for the Warriors. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Edwards, the bounce pass. Out to the wing. Three-pointer, Randall. It's rebounded by Golden State. They've held a 12-point lead early. It's deflected. It's stolen by Randall. Pass to Big Smooth. To the inside. Here's James.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
We know mistakes lead to breaks. That's just textbook right there.
Green finds Podziemski. A three-pointer, no good. Timberwolves trail by 6. In GA, we know Coach Steve Kerr has been up front. In order to win, the Warriors need to take and make a lot of threes.
Well, it's the superpower of their best player. And the arrival of Jimmy Butler has provided some balance. But threes are still their best bet.
Pass to Green. Three-pointer. Podziemski's shot is good. And the Warriors lead by 9.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Here's Big Smooth. Fires for 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Green's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. A nice shot by Moody.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Melton against Edwards. James, a screen on Melton. For 3, Edwards nails it.
Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain the triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
And we've reached the end of the third. Warriors ahead. They're up by 9. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard. Put the pass right on the money.
He'll be proud of that one. Bigs love when their passing skills are noticed.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. On the court for Golden State here in the fourth. Backcourt pair will be Curry and Pajemski. Kuminga out there with Horford. And it's Hield in at the three, the small forward. And look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Warriors.
They're moving the ball around so well, guys. Quick passes, letting the next guy do the work if you don't have a look.
And on top of that, they've really been dialed in from deep, just dropping triple after triple.
On the free throw, no good. And great when you're dealing with this Timberwolves team fairly deep with size up front.
That can wear you down over the course of a game, and especially in a playoff series, a real strength of this team.
RJ, there were questions about the two timeline approaching Golden State, but some of those young guys have made a difference.
And some haven't. But those team-friendly contracts of those younger players, that's one advantage. And a way to keep that energetic talent around their young stars.
And the Warriors making a change here. Richards is checked in. And that one misses.
Known as a volume three-point shooter, Hill is effective both as a starter as well as coming off the bench.
Hits the three-point bomb.
And not the tightest D right there. And he's going to punish you if you give him that much space. That three-point shot is his bread and butter.
And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 3 assists in the game. Lots of room. And he swishes it right through.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And Curry's not the biggest guy, but he can sense the contact coming and makes the adjustment.
Stephen Curry.
That's good from Stephen Curry. So, GA, when you think about Steph Curry's legacy, he changed the way the NBA game is played.
Man, it is hard to find a player who's had the impact of a Steph Curry, making us rethink what is possible. Curry's endless range has really inspired a generation.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He's clearly intent on wanting to lock in and make sure everyone's on the same page. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Chris Finch said to the team. He isn't liking what he's seeing out there on the perimeter, saying to his guys, defensively, we're too lax, and they're getting any three they want. And offensively, the ball movement, it isn't crisp, which is why we're not getting many opportunities from outside. I want to see improvement on both ends.
All right, Allie, thanks. Pass to Big Smooth. Outside Edwards. Strong move inside by Edwards.
And unbothered by the contact inside, Edwards plays the game with so much physicality.
Curry dishes to Heel. Horford sets a screen for Heel. Three-pointer, and he's good on the three ball. Hield's got 8 points in the quarter.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Pass to Big Smooth. And there's another one for the Timberwolves.
It's been like this all night for both teams. The offenses having their way.
Yeah, but I think it's going to come down to who can get the stops down the stretch, because that's who's going to come away with this one.
Knocks down the three.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He's very aware of the timing here and the significance of getting things squared away with his team. Timberwolves making a switch here. DiVincenzo's checked in. Golden State also making some changes. Quentin Post is checked in for Horford. Moody comes in for Buddy Hield. And it's DeAnthony Melton in for Brandon Pajemski. Outside Edwards. And Stephen Curry with the foul. That's his first foul. Edwards against Melton. Randall outside. James a screen on Green. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one is good! They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
Can't get it to go. Timberwolves trail by 10. Now James. And there's the dunk.
That is not possible. What we just... Is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. Let's see the connected cam angle on that stunning play. Brought to you by AT&T. Down the three.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
And what you love about Edwards is how intense he is. Guy plays hard every minute he's on the floor.
Shooting 2.
He drops the first one, and that brings them to within 10. And just as players, Greg, have used technology to train, it sounds like officials are now doing the same thing.
Yeah, whether it's the training app on their phones or VR headsets, cameras tracking their positioning on the floor, and even where they're looking. We'll see how much of a difference all this tech makes.
Warriors leading by 9. Now Curry. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Oh, what out an assist, leading him to the bucket.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Yeah, they're going to do a much better job of putting a little bit of pressure on him on his way to the hoop.
For three, Green rips down the board.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall. And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Warriors.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Stephen Curry.
He was just dropping dimes left and right out there. Any opening that the D provided, he exploited it and found his teammates.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And here's Melton. Green with a screen for Melton. Rebounded by Randall. So we see the Warriors get the win here. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
Now let's send it over to Allie LaForce on the sideline with our player of the game. Allie, take it away. Good stuff, Allie. Thanks. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Richard